السلام عليك يا مدينة, city of peace, city of noor. My heart is lost.
Madinah Ziyarat Guide, Masjid Nabawi to Quba Mosque, full journey. Welcome to Al-Kabi on the go and Go on the Go, my YouTube channel. Experience a beautiful spiritual journey in Medina as we travel from Al-Masjid and Nabawi to Quba Mosque, the first mosque built in Islam. Mosque sparkles. In this video, you'll learn how to go from Masjid Nabawi to Quba Mosque. Walking route and transport options, man walking car. Distance and time required. Importance and virtues of Quba Mosque. Tips for visitors and pilgrims. The Prophet said that praying 2 rak'ahs in Quba Mosque is like performing an Umrah. Don't miss this incredible opportunity when visiting Medina. Round pushpin location, Medina, Saudi Arabia. Folded hands, perfect for Umrah and Hajj pilgrims. Right finger if you found this helpful, thumbs up, like, speech balloon, comment, repeat button, share, bell, subscribe for more Islamic travel guides. Masjid Nabawi to Quba Mosque. How to go to Quba Mosque. Madinah Ziyarat Guide. Quba Mosque importance. Masjid Quba reward. Hadith walking to Quba Mosque. Medina. Medina travel vlog. Umrah Ziyarat places. Masjid Nabawi vlog. Islamic historical places. Medina. Heart of Medina, where peace feels tangible and every step carries centuries of devotion, begins a journey unlike any other. This is not just a walk through streets, it is a walk through history, faith, and love. Welcome to your complete ziyarat journey, from Masjid Nabawi to Masjid Quba. Take a deep breath, slow down, and let your heart lead the way. We begin at Masjid Nabawi, the illuminated mosque, a place where millions send their salams daily, and where every believer longs to stand, even for a moment. As you stand here, remember, this is the city chosen by the Prophet. Every corner holds a story. Every breeze carries a reminder. Before leaving, send your peace and blessings. Assalamu alayka ya Rasulullah. Let that moment settle deep in your heart. As we step outside the mosque, the city opens before us, alive, yet calm. Medina moves differently. It's softer, gentler, more reflective. Our destination is Masjid Quba, the first mosque built in Islam. The journey is about 3 kilometers. You can walk, take a car, or even follow the Sunnah route on foot, just as the Prophet used to do. And as you begin walking, remember this beautiful promise: whoever purifies themselves at home and then comes to Masjid Quba and prays in it, will receive the reward of an Umrah. Let that intention guide your steps. As you walk, notice the simplicity around you. The streets may be modern now, but the essence remains untouched. Imagine the early days, when the Prophet migrated here from Mecca. This very land witnessed sacrifice, hope, and the beginning of a new chapter for Islam. Each step you take echoes that journey. You might pass local shops, homes, and small mosques along the way. Life continues here quietly, respectfully. If you're walking, keep your tongue moist with dhikr, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar. Let your heart stay connected.
What is the beauty? What is the beauty?
Masjid Quba was built upon piety. When the Prophet arrived in Medina, this was the first place he stopped. Together with his companions, they laid its foundation with their own hands. This is not just a mosque, it is a symbol of sincerity, unity, and pure intention. And today, you are walking toward it. Transition. Approaching Quba, as you get closer, you'll begin to see the white minarets of Masjid Quba rising into the sky. There's a unique calmness here. A quiet invitation. Slow your pace, prepare your heart. Make your intention clear. I am going to pray in Masjid Quba for the sake of Allah. You've arrived. Masjid Quba stands beautifully, simple, yet deeply powerful. Before entering, pause for a moment. Take it in. You are standing at the first mosque of Islam. Enter with your right foot and recite the dua for entering a mosque. Feel the coolness beneath your feet, the stillness in the air. Find a place to pray 2 rak'ahs. This is your moment. As you stand in prayer, remember the reward promised. Pray slowly, with presence. Let your mind settle, let your heart speak. This is between you and Allah. No distractions, no rush. After your prayer, sit for a moment. Reflect on the journey you just made, not just physically, but spiritually. From the Prophet's mosque to the first mosque in Islam. From remembrance to action. Ziyarat is not about distance. It's about connection. Connection to faith, to history, and to the beloved Prophet. As you leave Masjid Quba, carry this peace with you. Let it stay in your heart. And remember, every step taken in sincerity is never lost. Final pause, until your next journey in this blessed city. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Reflective background music fades in. There are journeys you plan, and there are journeys that feel like they were written for you long before you ever imagined them. This is the story of a visit to Medina, a place where time slows down, hearts soften, and every step feels guided. As you enter the city, there's a quiet calm that settles over you. The air feels different here, lighter, gentler. It's not just a destination, it's a feeling. And then, in the distance, you see it. Masjid Nabawi. Pause, music swells slightly, your heart skips a beat. No matter how many times you've seen it in pictures, nothing prepares you for this moment. The grandeur, the serenity, the sense of history, it all comes together in a way words can't fully capture. As you walk closer, the white marble reflects the sunlight, almost glowing. The iconic green dome stands peacefully, reminding you that this is not just a mosque, this is a place deeply connected to the life of the Prophet. You slow your pace without even realizing it, because this is not a place to rush. Soft footsteps ambience, crossing into the courtyard, you notice the giant umbrellas opening gracefully above, offering shade like a protective embrace. Pilgrims from every corner of the world move quietly, each carrying their own story, their own prayers. There's a shared understanding here, a silent unity. Inside, the atmosphere changes even more. The coolness of the marble under your feet, the soft murmurs of prayer, the gentle recitation of Quran, everything invites you to pause, to reflect, to reconnect. you find a place to sit. And for a moment, you just breathe. Pause. This is where hearts speak without words. You raise your hands in dua, and suddenly, everything you've been carrying feels lighter. Every worry, every hope, every unspoken thought, it all pours out in sincerity. Time feels irrelevant here. Minutes stretch into moments of peace. And in that stillness, you realize something. You didn't just come here. You were invited. Music transitions softly. After experiencing the tranquility of Masjid Nabawi, your journey continues to another sacred place, Masjid Quba. The road there is simple, yet meaningful. Every step carries the intention of following a tradition rooted in history and devotion. As you arrive, Masjid Quba greets you with a different kind of beauty. It's quieter, more intimate, yet equally powerful in its presence. This was the first mosque built in Islam. And you can feel it. Soft breeze sound, the white structure stands peacefully under the sky, surrounded by a calm that feels untouched by time. There's something deeply grounding about this place. You walk in, feeling a sense of humility. Inside, it's simple, and that simplicity is what makes it special. No distractions, no rush, just space to pray, to reflect, to be present. You offer your prayer here, knowing the significance it carries. And in that moment, it's not about grandeur, it's about connection. A pure, quiet connection. Pause. Leaving Masjid Quba, your journey takes a different turn, one that brings you closer to everyday life in Medina. The markets. Subtle ambient market sounds fade in. As you step into the streets lined with shops, the energy shifts. The calm spirituality blends with vibrant culture. The scent of oud and perfumes fills the air, mixing with the aroma of fresh food and spices. You walk past small stores displaying prayer beads, dates, scarves, and gifts, each item carrying a piece of the city's identity. Shopkeepers greet you warmly. There's no rush here either. Just conversations, smiles, and a sense of hospitality that feels genuine. You pause at a stall of dates, neatly arranged, rich in color, inviting you to taste. The sweetness is unlike anything you've had before. It's not just food, it's tradition. As you continue exploring, you notice how seamlessly everything connects: faith, culture, community. It's all intertwined in a way that feels natural and effortless. Music becomes slightly more uplifting. The markets aren't just for shopping. They're part of the experience. A reminder that spirituality doesn't exist separate from life, it flows through it. Through people, through moments, through simple interactions. Pause. As the day comes to an end, you find yourself reflecting on everything you've experienced. The peace of Masjid Nabawi. The simplicity of Masjid Quba. The warmth of the markets. Each place gave you something different, yet equally meaningful. And somewhere along the way, you changed. Not in a dramatic way, but in a quiet, subtle way. The kind of change that stays with you. Soft closing music, because this journey was never just about visiting places. It was about feeling them, living them, and carrying a piece of them with you long after you leave. Title: The Timeless Beauty of Masjid Quba, a visual voiceover script ****. Opening scene: soft sunrise over Medina, golden light stretching across the horizon. In the quiet serenity of Masjid Quba, the day begins not with noise, but with light. A light that has traveled through centuries. A light that still touches the hearts of millions. Slow aerial shot approaching the mosque. This is not just a mosque. This is the first mosque ever built in Islam. A place where history didn't just happen, it began. Cut to white domes glowing under the sun, located just outside the heart of Medina, Masjid Quba stands with quiet dignity. Its white domes rise like pearls against the sky, reflecting simplicity, purity, and devotion. Every stone here carries a story. Every step echoes with meaning. Soft transition, footsteps walking toward the entrance. When Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, migrated from Mecca to Medina, this was the very place where he stopped, rested, and built. Not a palace, not a fortress, but a house of worship. Gentle background nasheed begins. Imagine the moment. The desert winds still settling. The companions gathered, hands working together, hearts united in faith. Cut to reenactment-style visuals or empty courtyard. Here, the Prophet himself laid the foundation with his own blessed hands. Here, sincerity shaped every corner. Here, the first call to prayer in this mosque rose into the sky. Camera glides across the courtyard. Today, Masjid Quba is calm, organized, and beautifully structured. Marble floors cool beneath your feet. Elegant arches frame the space. Tall minarets reach upward, reminding every visitor where their gaze should return. Close-up of worshippers praying, but beyond its architecture lies something deeper. A feeling, a presence, soft echo of adhan in the background. It is said that praying 2 rak'ahs here holds the reward of an umrah. Not because of size or design, but because of intention. Because this place was built on taqwa, pure consciousness of God. Cut to pilgrims entering, visitors arrive from every corner of the world. Different languages, different journeys, yet the moment they step inside, there is a shared stillness. A connection that needs no translation. Camera pans over rows of prayer, shoulder to shoulder, they stand. Equal, silent, focused, golden hour lighting returns. As the sun begins to set, Masjid Quba transforms once again. Shadows stretch gently across the courtyard. The white walls take on a warm glow. And the sky becomes a canvas of fading light. Slow motion of people leaving peacefully, time moves forward, but this place remains anchored in the past and present all at once. Final aerial shot pulling away. Masjid Quba is not just a destination. It is a reminder that greatness begins with simplicity, that faith is built, one sincere act at a time, and that even the smallest place can hold the greatest meaning. Fade to black. Here, history breathes. Here, hearts find peace. Here stands Masjid Quba. The scene opens in the soft glow of early morning light, just as the sun begins to rise over the quiet city. A gentle golden hue spreads across the sky, gradually illuminating the pristine white facade of Masjid Quba. The mosque stands with a serene dignity, its architecture both simple and majestic, radiating peace and spiritual calm. The front side of the mosque dominates the frame, symmetrical and balanced, with smooth white walls reflecting the warm tones of the dawn. 4 elegant minarets rise tall into the sky, each one slender and refined, crowned with softly gleaming domes that catch the first light of the sun. Their presence is not overwhelming but graceful, guiding the eyes upward and evoking a sense of transcendence. Between them, a series of smaller domes line the roof, perfectly aligned and evenly spaced, creating a harmonious pattern that enhances the mosque's visual rhythm. The courtyard in front of the mosque is expansive and spotless, its polished marble surface reflecting both the sky and the structure itself like a mirror. Subtle geometric patterns are etched into the marble floor, adding texture without distracting from the purity of the scene. As the light grows stronger, faint reflections of worshippers begin to appear, moving slowly and respectfully across the courtyard. A gentle breeze passes through, barely noticeable, yet enough to stir the edges of garments worn by visitors approaching the mosque. Men in traditional white thobes walk calmly toward the entrance, they're measured and purposeful. Some pause briefly, gazing up at the mosque with quiet reverence before continuing forward. Others sit along the edges of the courtyard, engaged in silent reflection or soft conversation. The main entrance stands at the center of the front facade, framed by a series of arches that are both simple and elegant. The arches create depth and shadow, contrasting beautifully with the bright white surfaces around them. Intricate yet subtle carvings trace along the edges, hinting at traditional Islamic design without overwhelming the minimalist aesthetic. Above the entrance, delicate calligraphy runs in a horizontal band, etched with precision and care. Though not overly ornate, it carries a sense of sacred significance, drawing attention without demanding it. The calligraphy appears almost alive in the shifting light, as shadows move gently across its surface. As the scene continues, the soundscape gradually emerges. The distant call to prayer begins to echo through the air, soft at first, then growing clearer. It blends seamlessly with the quiet footsteps of worshippers and the subtle hum of the waking city. The atmosphere is calm, unhurried, and deeply spiritual. Birds begin to circle above the minarets, they're adding life to the stillness. Occasionally, one lands briefly on the edge of a dome before taking off again, silhouetted against the brightening sky. The light now fully illuminates the mosque, revealing its clean lines and flawless surfaces in full clarity. Shadows shorten as the sun rises higher, and the white exterior of Masjid Quba becomes almost radiant, glowing softly against the blue sky. The contrast between light and shadow emphasizes the architectural details, the curves of the domes, the vertical lines of the minarets, and the repeating patterns of the arches. People continue to gather in front of the mosque, forming small groups or walking individually. There is a sense of unity in their movement, even without coordination. Each person seems connected by a shared purpose, drawn toward the entrance with quiet devotion. The camera slowly moves forward, gliding across the marble courtyard toward the main entrance. Reflections shift and ripple beneath it, capturing fragments of sky, structure, and the closer it gets, the more detail becomes visible, the texture of the stone, the precision of and the subtle interplay of light across every surface. At the entrance, a few individuals pause to remove their shoes, placing them neatly aside before stepping. Their expressions are calm and focused, their movements respectful and deliberate. The transition from the open courtyard into the shaded entrance creates a visual contrast, bright openness giving way to cool tranquility. The final moment lingers on the front facade of Masjid Quba, now fully alive with light, movement, and quiet energy. It stands not just as a building, but as a symbol of peace, faith, and continuity, unchanged in its essence, yet ever renewed by those who come to it. The scene fades slowly, leaving behind the image of the mosque bathed in sunlight, serene and timeless. The scene begins in the gentle warmth of late afternoon, where sunlight filters softly through rows of tall date palms lining the roads that lead toward Masjid Quba. The camera opens low to the ground, capturing the textured asphalt road stretching forward, its surface lightly dusted with sand carried by the desert breeze. On either side of the road, lush date gardens unfold in quiet harmony, their deep green contrasting beautifully against the golden tones of the surrounding. The carries a calm stillness, occasionally broken by the rustling of palm fronds swaying high above. Each tree stands tall and dignified, its trunk textured and time-worn, supporting a crown of long, arching leaves that catch the sunlight in shimmering layers. Clusters of dates hang beneath the leaves, some ripened to deep amber and brown, others still green, adding natural detail and authenticity to the scene. As the camera slowly glides forward along the roadside, the gardens become more immersive. Narrow pathways weave between the palm trees, leading deeper into shaded areas where the sunlight dapple forms intricate patterns on the sandy ground. Small irrigation channels run quietly along the base of the trees, reflecting fragments of light like thin ribbons of silver. A soft breeze moves through, bringing with it the faint earthy scent of soil and the subtle sweetness of dates. The sound design is minimal yet vivid, gentle wind, distant footsteps, and the occasional call of birds hidden among the leaves. The environment feels alive, but never loud. Along the roadside, a few parked vehicles rest quietly under the shade of the palms, their presence subtle and unobtrusive. Nearby, a couple of people walk calmly along their pace unhurried. Some carry small bags, possibly filled with fresh dates, while others simply enjoy the peaceful walk toward the mosque. Their clothing flows lightly with the breeze, adding motion to the otherwise tranquil setting. The road itself gently curves, guiding the viewer's perspective toward glimpses of Masjid Quba in the distance. Its bright white structure peeks through gaps in the palm trees, partially hidden yet unmistakable. The contrast between the natural greenery of the gardens and the clean, luminous architecture of the mosque creates a visually striking balance. As the camera continues forward, the density of the palm gardens increases. Sunlight filters through thicker layers of leaves, creating deeper shadows and a cooler, shaded atmosphere. The becomes softer, with scattered fallen dates and dry leaves adding texture and realism to the environment. Occasionally, a local vendor appears near the roadside, a small, simple stand displaying freshly harvested dates. Wooden crates filled with neatly arranged fruit sit under makeshift shade, their colors ranging from golden yellow to rich brown. The vendor interacts quietly with passers-by, exchanging greetings and offering samples, adding a subtle human warmth to the scene. The distant adhan begins to rise softly in the background, echoing gently through the palm groves. It blends seamlessly with the natural sounds, enhancing the spiritual undertone without overpowering the environment. The presence of Masjid Quba becomes more felt than seen, drawing people forward with quiet intention. Thanks for watching Al-Kabi on the Go, and Go on the Go my YouTube channel please. Round pushpin location, Medina, Saudi Arabia. Folded hands perfect for Umrah and Hajj pilgrims. Right finger if you found this helpful, thumbs up like, speech balloon comment, repeat button share, bell subscribe for more Islamic travel guides.
همس القلب ينادي يا رب توبني أريد قربك دائما